Welcome to Learn Short and Typing with Vikas sir. The Indian Express article The Trade Debate यानी कि ट्रेड पे डिबेट नीति आयोग CEO's comment on RCEP calls for a conversation that takes into account a rapidly चेंजिंग ग्लोबल एनवायरनमेंट। ये आपका जो आर्टिकल है ग्लोबल एनवायरनमेंट पे है। नीति आयोग के जो सीईओ ने जो कमेंट किया है ऑन आरसीपी, इसके अकॉर्डिंग ये आपका आर्टिकल रहेगा। दिस आर्टिकल इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टूडेंट्स। द हिंदू का आर्टिकल और जो इंडियन एक्सप्रेस का आर्टिकल काफी अच्छे आर्टिकल होते हैं, इसलिए हम कोई भी कर सकते हैं। सो बी रेडी, स्टार्ट। After years of negotiating in November 2019, India chose to stay out of the regional comprehensive economic partnership, a trade agreement that include 15 countries accounting for 30% of global GDP and around a quarter of world exports. Many had argued then that this was a lost opportunity. The argument was that staying out of such trade agreements, not being deeply integrated with the global value chains that run through these regions, was difficult to reconcile with the objective of becoming a global manufacturing hub, capturing export opportunities and foreign capital. There were concerns that the protectionist impulses that seemed to guide policy, tariff and non-tariff barriers, and other country specific limitations would restrict the gains that could potentially flow from the escalating trade tensions between China and the US and the China plus one strategy. As per a recent report by Oxford Economics, while India has benefited from US trade rerouting away from China, the gains have been to a much lesser extent when compared to other Asian countries such as Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Further, the report points out that the country has not been able to attract a notably greater portion of global foreign direct investment even as FDI flows to China plummeted. Stop. In this context, to recent comments by the of Niti BVR Subramaniam on trade agreements are welcome. As reported in this paper, Subramaniam has said that India is missing out on the China plus one opportunity and that it should consider joining agreements such as the RCEP and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement of Trans-Pacific Partnership. Stop. In principle, this is the right approach. Even countries like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are looking to join the trade bloc. However, 5 years later, the world is a different place. The intervening years have been a pandemic the Russia-Ukraine war and a growing conflict in the Middle East, supply chain disruption have been frequent, and Western countries, particularly the US, have lurched towards protect, protectionism. Trade policy is now guided more by geopolitical and security considerations. Donald Trump's victory in the recent presidential elections has further sparked uncertainty about the direction of US policy trade policy. Trump has advocated for a 60% tariff on imports from China and 70% tariff on other imports. In this fast changing milieu, India must reevaluate its trade policy while the country has since signed some trade agreements with countries such as the UAE and Australia. Progress on others, such as the agreements with the EU and UK, has been slow. Subramaniam's comments, which perhaps indicate some rethink within the government, are also at odds with arguments being made for looking at agreements such as the ones with ASEAN in light of a growing trade.